Okay, I'm back. I took like an hour break just to shake the cobwebs from my head. The transcribing and arranging part sometimes happens at the same time. And that's sometimes why I need to take a break because, if I can't think clearly, then, what's the point? So, back at it. Okay. So now, where am I? On the second line there. Da 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 da. All right, so now I got to get to that next horn line, and I think the timpani starts up again. And there's more organ there too, doubling the horns. Tritones. Yes, actually, you can sort of hear that the organ is... Yeah, the organ is sort of doubling it an octave higher. Tritones, fun. So that I can write down. Ba-ba-da-ba. I almost want to keep going with that horn melody because it's really cool. Actually, there's nothing wrong with that. You get the gist of the idea of a particular melody or what have you, then your mind gets sort of keyed into that, and I should keep going with it. So I will. More tritones. Pop. Tritones. Parallel. All right, let's see what happens next. And then it goes more there. Okay, so that's like a measure and a bit more. Okay, we're getting a lot of this done now. I hope you can see that. Because I can't see it. Okay, all right. Probably a lot of tritones there. Very disconcerting. Kind of keeps you off balance there, all these tritones everywhere. All right, so I got to get that part. See those low horn notes start to get covered up by the organ a little bit, so it's not as obvious what's happening on that lowest note. It comes back, but it's also in a low register, so it can be buried pretty easily by the other noises and sounds going on. Yeah, towards the end of the measure, it actually comes out a little clearer. Yeah, okay. I think it is that. So you can sort of hear where those horns are. Then we get into the true waltz macabre. Oh, the harmony might be changing now. Alright, I need another slow down here, I think. This. At least they're crescendoing. What's nice about that is that if their note was hidden to start with or obscured, it emerges. All right, so we're not doing tritones anymore. Okay. Okay. Ah. Oh, I see. All right. Stick with one thing at a time. Let me add in what comes in next. That might help. Can always change it. That's what erasers were invented for. Okay, this is how far I am now. There we go. This is just that little horn melody that I've been doing by itself. Might be back to tritones, actually. That would make sense. And actually, I might be hearing the organ. Right? At a certain point, you can count on musicians to be somewhat logical. The question is, are they thinking in terms of the same logic as you are? That's where you have to be careful about applying your own sense of composition and musical logic to someone else. It may not be the same. I certainly think about things differently as a jazz musician than Simpson might as a, not exactly classical composer, but certainly closer to that than jazz. Yeah, gotta be careful about that. That's curious that's... It's been all tritones except for that one. I wonder if I misheard that. No, I think that would have been pretty obvious. Boom, boom. It's all tritones. All right. All right. All right, so let's see what I got here. In terms of the horn line, I'm going to try and do that just by itself. Let's see what I've got. Cool. So, at the beginning, I probably made things a little harder on myself because I was doing everything at the same time. And what was probably easier, I'm sure I've done it before, I just forgot to do it, I guess because I was feeling pressure, being observed, was instead of doing everything at once, doing one part at a time. That just makes it easier. You just focus on one timbre, one thing, and it gets easier to figure this stuff out. Now that I've done that, now let's go back to the synthesizer-y organy thing. I'll go back to the top. All right. La-da-da-la. Okay, I need some rhythm here. It's very loose, that part. Overlaying it maybe sometimes doesn't create totally, perfectly lined up music. It can be off a little bit, but it comes off all right because it has a echoey timbre anyway. Ba-da-da-da-da, do-do-do-do-do. Thank you, Dudley, for not putting those on exactly the same notes. That would be awkward. Okay. So the new part starts here, and I put it down there so that it wasn't in the way. It's not going to look like that in the final score, but I put it down there so that I wouldn't have to smush it in there. But it's there. Let's see what happens next. Da 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 da. I think so. Okay. This is where it goes to. Cool. The fourths very often clash with what's happening in the horn part, but because they themselves sound so consonant, you almost don't notice how really quite dissonant it is against the horn part. Love that. Oh, now this part gets interesting. Ooh, so cool. I can't wait to figure this out. I buy it. Juicy. This is going to be quite dissonant and fun. I'm not sure what key to put this in. I've written most of the horn part in sharps, but this makes much more sense in flats. It's a notational problem. Nothing really to worry you about. But it is certainly something I think about. A score fails if you have to second guess what it means. What the composer intended. If it's not clear, then the score has failed in some way. So that's why whether that's a G sharp or an A flat, same note. But whether I write it down as that actually matters, because it helps a performer or an analyst or whatever, whoever cares, understand the context of that note. Not just the sound of it, but what it's doing there, where it came from, where it's going, and how to think of it logically in a larger sense. That's what a score should be doing. And that's something I've learned to care about quite a lot, because I compose quite a lot, and although very few people have actually played my music, if and when they do, I want them to be able to read it without scratching their heads. Da-da-da. So, okay, we got the start of this new horn part there. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Boo-ba-da-da, boo-da-da-da. Nice. That means it's 3 of those. That makes sense. Ah, God, it's so cool. All right. This, that, and then it'll fall down there. I better start from before so that I hear it as a connected thing. I think it doesn't start on the downbeat. Okay, so this is what I got, all from the top there, and then towards the end, I've got the rest of the line. So both the horns and the organy synthesizer-y thing are together. So now I can do the various parts and see how they sound. I guess I can try to do them at pitch. I might not do very well, but or at speed, I should say, at speed. Let's see what happens. That's hard. Okay, I think I'd better practice that if I'm going to actually do that. All right, now I'll try it again. All right. I think that sounds about right, don't you? So I still have to figure out the bass, but it sounds like it's a lot of B's. I'm going to go with that. The harmony is shifting above it. Like sans, perhaps. Well, one possibility that I can also try is to move up the pitch of the music up an octave. That'll bring some of the bass stuff out of the doldrums and up into an area which might be easier to hear. Let's try it. Boom. There we go. Now this is going to sound stupid, but the point is I'm going to be able to hear what's low in a more normal register. And it actually works because suddenly you can really hear the bum, 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 bum. You can actually hear very clearly now. The first few measures make it clear that it's boom, 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 boom. That seemed pretty clear. And again, the logic of the composer would be that's the groove. I kind of feel like it needs that beat there. There's some kind of percussive element that is clearly, consistently happening. And I don't want to... It won't sound like enough like the piece if I leave it out. So if it just goes... But if instead I go... Doesn't that already sound cooler? Yeah. So I have to put it in, but then I also have to decide where else it belongs. That's a good point. I may not be able to do it anyway because I have to be able to put all this stuff together. Obviously, the right hand has to do... Obviously, that's the right hand's job. The left hand has to do the horns. So I just may not be able to add it in even if it's there. But I definitely have to hit in the re-attacks of the timpani. Let's at least mark the hits. So there's definitely a hit here. I'll mark it in. I'm not going to put in the full rhythm though. Okay. All right. So I put in the music. I put in the bass line parts where it definitely hits. So there's just one last thing for me to do is just get that last little waltz rhythm. Let me see if I can get it. That shouldn't be too hard. All right, let's get the bass notes. I like that foundation. You remember Blind Man's Buff? That tritone bass rhythm? Yeah. That was... It's, oh, it's moved over to C. Interesting. Let's loop that a little better. Alright, there's a contrabass clarinet. Could be something like... Oh, that kind of sounds right. Like there might be a... Which is exactly what happened in Celestial Toymaker. Except there was all this other nasty stuff, but it was still A major. That makes a lot of sense. That sounds right. I'm not sure though. Well, alright, I've almost got it. I think I can get this. I think my phone's about to die, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I obviously took a little bit of a break in which the sun went down to recharge my phone, but now I'm back. I've got just a little bit left to do. And actually, it's a good thing I did take that break because I forgot something very important. There's a better copy of this last little waltz bit a very few seconds later in the episode. It repeats here.
It's Mikkel.
So that's from the later scene after the Doctor explains to Leela dimensional transcendentalism. And they land and they turn on the scanner. And as soon as the scanner opens, they see that they're in this metal room. And it's the same music from the end of that opening cue. And it's silent. So it's a much better source of that very same music. So I'll use that instead. Sounds like just tritones. I almost feel like, I was talking earlier how it seemed like it might have been a little thicker than that. But actually, I guess the thick part is, that kind of fills in the harmony there. I don't think so. I was trying to put in a extra harmonic color note there, and I don't think it's there. Well, see, together that does sound good, doesn't it? That's going to be a little tricky, but I think I can do it. So let's put that here. And I think I believe it. So that happens twice. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. So. Oops, something wrong there. Wow, I filled up the whole page. So that's the thing. I know I have to not jump to conclusions. I have to double check and triple check and quadruple check because I don't want to mess this up. It's too important to me personally. Never mind y'all. It's too important to me to get this right. And I don't want to put it out there making it seem like I know all this stuff that is easily proven wrong. Or, well, maybe not that easily. But I want to get it right. If nobody else but for me. I've always been selfish like that. Okay. So I think I wrote that down right. Hope so. Okay, but now I need to fill in the rest of it. it's just the same. Something like that. Yeah. I realize that's irritating, but when I'm writing down, I'm not thinking of that. There might be a little move there.
It's metal. It's metal. It's metal.
I'm going to go back to the robots. Yes.
Turbulent center, Vector 7.
Yes, this is better. Back to F sharp, I think. That's going to be much clearer.
Scan commencing now.
Cool. I think I might have it, people. Such moody notes. I love it. Boom, boom. Do you know, I think I've got it. Well, okay. This is something like it's gonna sound like. This is the slow and tentative version. Well, you couldn't get much rougher. However, that's basically it. That is what will eventually turn into the opening measures of the Sandminer. And it is now about 5 hours since I started. Do not worry, I was not working for 5 hours straight. I did take some rather significant breaks in between. But that's kind of what it takes to get this right. And I could probably do it faster, but I might not do it as well, which is why you see me checking and double and triple and quadruple checking everything I do and playing it along with the recording so that I can hear whether it meshes with what I hear. Then I doubt and I double check. It's like, all right, is there more there that I'm missing? I have to dig through. Sometimes I have to dig past sound effects and so on. And the mixing of the program, whereas especially the bass notes can be very swallowed up by the ambient noise of the dialogue or the sound effects. As I said, the model work that happens in the beginning of the program is all machinery and whooshing air and sand storms and so on. That's a lot to get through, but it's in there, and at least the timbres of the instruments themselves are distinctive. So this is the process I go through to make the transcriptions that I all know and love, and hopefully you do too. Hey, thanks for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of the process of how the Dudley Simpson is Doctor Who project pieces actually get made. I talk to you about the end result, but I don't talk a lot about the actual process that I go through. The process starts like this. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you later. Bye.